What's up, guys? So today we're going to continue our locomotion system and we're going to implement the turn in place. Okay, so let's begin. First things we need is to import the animations. So let's go to characters, mannequins, animations, many, unarmed, and create a new folder called turn. Open it up. Now get the animations that are in the description or from the Lyra template, the 4 animations, drag them in, select the skeleton, import all. Okay, so now right click, asset actions, bulk edit, go to root motion, enable, enforce root lock. File, save all, close this. Now we need to create a montage for each animation. So right click, create animation montage. So now we have all the 4 montages. You can save this and we can start to create the functionality that will play these montages. So let's go to content, third person, blueprints, character, and let's go to our replication graph. And right here, we're going to create some events that will allow us to play those montages. So here, say add custom event. This is going to be called play turn. Okay. This is going to run as a multicast event, which means it will be broadcasted to all the clients. And right now we're going to create a new variable called turning to check if we are turning or not. And from here, we're going to say branch, and we are going to connect the turning right here like this. So if we are not turning, then we're going to get this and say set, and set the turning to true. So we're going to start turning. So after that, you can say play montage, this one. Now you can grab the skeletal mesh and connect right here. And the montage will come from the event, and the play rates will also come from the event, like this. Now, after this, we can say delay, and the duration of this delay will also come from the event. This way, we can call this event and tell it what montage to play. So after that, we can set the turning to false once this is completed and once the animation is completed. So that's it. We have the event to play the animation. Now we need to create separate events to play the specific animation that we want. So right here, we're going to say add custom event. We're going to say turn right 90. You can copy this one and call it turn left 90. You can copy these two and say turn right 180 and turn left 180. Okay, now you need to set all these events to run on the server like this. Okay, now you can give them a little bit of space, and all these events will call the event that we created before. So from here you can say play turn. You can copy this to all the events like this and connect everything. Okay, so the first animation, the turn right 90, we are going to play the montage, which will be the turn right 90 montage. The play rate will be 1.5 and the duration will be 0.5. Okay, now the turn left, which will be turn left 90, the play rate will be 1.5 and the duration will be 0.5. Okay, now this one's the animation will be the turn right 180. The play rate will be 1.7 and the duration will be 0.6. Because this animation is a little bit longer, so it makes sense that we increase a little bit. Now the turn left, we will set turn left 180, and this one will have 1.7 on the play rates and 0.6 for the duration. That's it. Now we have all the events to go in each direction. Now what we also need, so we can call this turn in place. And now we need to create another event which will allow us to clear the animations when we need that. So for example, if you are turning and you try to move forward, the character will not move because it's playing a root motion animation, which means the motion of the character will be based on the animation and not on the movement input. Okay, so right here we're going to create another event, add custom events, and this will be called clear motion. This will be running as a multicast, and from here we're going to say is playing animation root motion, so branch. If we are, then we can get current montage, and then we can say stop montage. Okay, if this is true, then we stop the montage. We can comment this and say clear root motion, like this. We separate this because you might use this with other things, so makes sense that it is separated. Now on the turn in place, we're going to expand a little bit, and we're going to create another custom event called clear turn in place. Okay, and this will be running on the server. Now here we will take an input which will be the force, and it will be a float. So this will basically be the value from our movement axis, which will tell us if we are trying to move or not. So from here we're going to say not equal to 0. So if this basically it's not 0, then we can say here branch, and we can say clear motion. Okay, now you can organize this, and that's it. Now what we need is to create a function that will check which angle we are crossing and will trigger all these animations. So let's create a new function here called turn in place. Now we need to check a few things, so we can get a branch like this, and from here you're going to say and. Now from here you're going to say not boolean, and you're going to copy this like that. We're going to add a pin and connect this like this. So that's it. Now the first thing we need to verify is if our character is not falling. So we're going to grab the character movement and say is falling and connect right here. So if we're not falling, then we can proceed. Now the second thing we are going to check is if our character has no speed, so he's not moving. So we're going to grab the character movement. We're going to say get velocity, which is down here, and from here we're going to say vector length xy, which will basically give us the value of our current speed. And from here we're going to say greater than 0. So if our speed is not like this, greater than 0, then we can proceed. Okay, now the last thing we're going to check is if we're not crouching like this. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is another check. So you can copy this here, and we're going to check if we are crossing the 45-degree angle, which means that we have animations to play, right? So here we're going to say get actor rotation, and here get base aim rotation. From here you're going to say delta and connect these two. Now you're going to split the structure here, and the yaw value will be basically the angle that we are trying to move to. So here we're going to say multiply, and we're going to multiply by -1, which means that we are inverting this value. Now, if this is greater than 45 or less than -45, so or less, okay, then we can proceed. So now you can move this here, and that's it. So the next thing we're going to check is which angle that we are crossing at and which animation we should play. So you can grab this branch, call it right here, and copy it again and again and again. Okay, now just connect the false to the following like this. So which means that we're going to check one, and then if it's not, so we're going to continue to check the other and the other and the other. So now we can connect the true right here, and we can grab these great or less things, paste them here. Now this one is going to go here and connect all these things. Now you can copy these two and paste them here and connect as well. So now we can grab the yaw value from here and connect to which thing right there. Okay, like this. Sorry, like this, like this. Okay, now the first angle we're going to check is the 135 to -135. Okay, so and these ones are already correct, from 45 to -45. So if we are crossing this angle, then from here we're going to say turn right 180. Okay, so we're going to call the animation. Now from here we're going to say turn left 180. This one will be turn right 90, and this one will be turn left 90. Okay, so you can organize this if you want, and that's basically it. So we check if we're not doing any of this stuff, then we check if we are crossing the 45-degree angle, and if we are, we check which animation we should play. Okay, so that's basically it. Now we can go to the event graph, and on the camera inputs on the mouse right here, you can expand this and call the turn in place like this. Okay, now what we can also do is on the gamepad we can also do the same thing. So we can move this here a little bit, drag this here, copy the turn in place and place it right here. Okay, so this way it will work on both. Now the other thing we need to do is clear the motion when we are turning and the player is trying to move. So on the movement input, we're going to say clear turn in place. Okay, now we're going to connect this here and this over here, and now the force will be the axis value. Okay, now the same thing right here, so you can connect this like that, and the force will be the axis value. So if the axis value is different than 0, then we clear the root motion animation. Now the other things that we need to do is also, for example, when we jump, we also want to clear the root motion animation so that we can jump, and when we crouch we also want to do that. So here on the jump we can just copy this, and when we jump we can call the function and set this force to 1, which means that we're kind of simulating the axis value so that we can stop the animations. Now you can copy this one, and let's go to the replication graph to the crouch like this, and you can move this right here. You can expand this a little bit like that, and you can paste here the clear turn in place, connect them both to the nodes, and the force, don't forget, it has to be 1. Okay, so that's basically it. We should now be able to use it. If you want to see this better, you can enable the bubbles right here, and this way you can navigate on the graph knowing where to go. So basically this way you can see where everything is. So we should be able to use these animations now. So let's test it out. So hit play, and if I go to the right, I turn to the right and to the left, and if, for example, I jump and turn, it will play the 180 animation. Okay, so as you can see, everything is working. We can use the turn in place. I can also test this on the server if you want. So here I'm going to select 3 players, not 2, because it's also important to see if the other clients see the animation on the other clients. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, and as you can see, when I turn, all the screens see me turning. Okay, so that's basically it. Now we can test that with our other client right here, and if we go forwards, you can see when I rotate, they also see it. So that's it. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something with it, and don't forget to subscribe.